Welcome back to Family Canine Training, and we are joined again by the adorable Iris, who's decided to take a delightful nap during one of our training sessions for her obedience work. So I thought this would be a wonderful opportunity to talk about 3 more incredibly common mistakes that new puppy owners make that I want to help you avoid making yourself. So then let's dive into the first mistake in today's list, and that is about not crate training your puppy. The more and more puppies that I help train, we're now into the tens of thousands of people that have gone through our puppy training protocols, I am becoming more and more militant on that absolutely every dog owner should crate train their dogs. The difference between a puppy that has been positively and quickly crate trained versus an owner who decides not to crate train their puppies is absolute night and day. Having a place where your puppy can go, be calm, be happy, be content, where you know they're safe, secure, and not getting up to mischief is an absolute game changer. I preach about the importance of staying a calm, consistent, loving leader. But if you're giving your dog too much room, too much freedom too soon, you are setting them up to fail. They are going to destroy things in your home. They are going to have toilet training accidents, and more than likely you are going to start getting frustrated and angry with your puppy. As soon as that frustration and anger sinks in, you are losing. You must remain a calm, consistent, loving leader. And one of the best ways you can do that is providing them a happy, safe space where they can go by themselves for their naps. If they feel overwhelmed by anything, they have their own safe space that they can remove themselves to. Or if you need to remove them for whatever reason, you have a safe, happy place where you can put them, where you know they're happy, content, safe, while you can go about whatever it is that you need to deal with. Please, if I could give you one tip in today's video, crate train your puppies. The next mistake that is a common myth that so many people have heard of, and still to this day so many people think is accurate, and that is around pushing your dog's nose into their mess if they have had a toilet accident. Now, I wanted to put this mistake in here because it links beautifully to the first point. If you have given your dog too much freedom, you've given them too much space, and they have had a toilet accident, let me make one thing very, very clear. The puppy has not made a mistake. You have. You have set your dog up to fail as opposed to setting your dog up for success. So it shouldn't be the dog's nose being mushed into the accident because you are at fault, not the puppy. Now, that's one part of this myth. The second part is it does absolutely nothing to discourage them from doing that behavior in the first place or next time round. Let me explain. I am a balanced dog trainer and canine behaviourist. I believe in a balanced approach. I think it's important to correct our puppies and dogs to help them understand what they're doing wrong and what they shouldn't do in the future. I also believe it's incredibly important to positively reinforce when they're doing things right and to help them understand what we do want them to do in future. But if we're ever going to correct our dog, it 100% has to be in the exact moment that the poor behavior is occurring, so that the dog can make a very clear connection between this behavior that I am displaying and the correction that you have implemented. They put the two things together, and it's that behavior that will happen less frequently. The minute they come away from having that accident, you can no longer correct them for it. All it will do is create confusion. All it will do is if they were lying in their bed and you come home and see an accident and drag them out of their bed and start rubbing their nose in it, they're going to pair them lying in their bed with a bad thing from happening, not them having an accident and you rubbing their nose in it. The two things don't pair in canine psychology. They're not humans. We can't treat them like humans. If you are going to correct your dog, which should only ever be done very fairly, it has to be in the moment the bad behavior is occurring. So stop rubbing your dog's nose if they have an accident. Start to accept that you made a mistake, you didn't let them out in time, you didn't control their environment, you weren't paying enough attention. Learn from the mistakes that you made and set them up for success in the future. Then the last mistake is around repeating verbal cues. Now that might sound a little bit intimidating. A cue is nothing more than the command that we give our dog to ask them to display a desired behavior. Let's take sit, for example. We've got Iris here, she's fast asleep, but I might say, Iris. All Iris means is look up to me, I'm about to ask you to do something. So Iris, sit. Now, if I've trained Iris to teach to sit, I should only ever need to say that cue, that command once. Don't be that Iris, sit, 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 sit. Iris, sit, 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 sit. And then give up because they ignored you 17 times. All that's happened is your dog has learned that it is okay to ignore you 17 times. Always remember, when we're working with dogs, you tell, you never ask. Do not ask your dog of a behavior. Tell your dog that it must display a desired behavior. Now, as loving, calm, consistent leaders, we have a duty of care to teach them and train them fairly so that we know that they understand what it is that we want. But once we've got them to that point, only ever use your verbal command if you're in a position to ensure that you can guarantee they follow through on that command that you've asked of them. We can never allow our dogs to hear a cue or a command that they understand and then decide to ignore. That is the first step on a slippery, slippery slope to a terribly behaved dog. So don't make that mistake. Tell your dogs, don't ask your dogs. You can still do that in a fair, loving way, but that will be what allows you to have high levels of success with your canine companions. So I hope you enjoyed that quick video while Iris here still continues to take her mid-training nap. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I can't wait to see you on the next episode of Feminine Canine Training.